Hey lovely wild hearts, it's Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel. This channel is for sensitive spiritual detectives who want to live wild-heartedly. So this is the place for you if you want to find your true, your most authentic voice. And we do that by journaling with the tarot and oracle cards. I'm an HSP and I'm an intuitive coach. And today's reading is for the solar eclipse in Aries. So are you feeling those big energies of change that are coming in? I did not sleep a wink last night and I'm late to recording this reading today, mostly because we've got builders here and the noise levels were off the charts. And I could feel Aries is ruled by Mars, which is, assertiveness, it's life force, it's power, it's authority, it's the Emperor card in the tarot. And I've spent most of the day tweeting various authorities to try and sort out that is my home at the moment. But before we begin today's reading, and I invite you to journal along with me, so get your journal and a cuppa and just see it as you time. And if the messages resonate with you, then they're for you, and if not, then maybe there's another reading on this channel that resonates. But our intuition is great because when it sees something that's meant for us, it really kind of hones in on it. And you might get strong feelings in your body as you listen. What really helps me know that I'm picking up on and tuning into the collective energies is if you could like this video and leave me an emoji in the comments below. As we go along, we'll pick emojis out, but the heart one's normally the nicest one. But let me tell you about Right to Heal, which is... it's my brand new creative coaching program for all wannabe authors and journal fanatics who want to develop their creative gifts and learn how to manifest their dream life, because it's never too late to rewrite your story. And at the moment I'm writing my first cozy mystery novel, which is called the Dolly Sunflower Mysteries. And actually what I'm doing as I'm writing it is I'm writing my new life into reality, into existence. And that's quite hard to do when you've been through trauma or when you've been healing from trauma, because we can get stuck in our old stories. Or we don't get stuck in them, actually. We let go of them when we're ready. Let's be kind and compassionate. And I feel like I've been on a bit of a loop with mine for a long time, and it's time for there to be a breath of fresh air to come in for the energy of change. But Right to Heal, I suppose it's not just for budding or wannabe authors, it's also for anyone who wants to unearth their truth, because your truth lives in your unconscious mind. Tell your story, unlock your creative gifts, as I've said, reconnect with your intuition, or just simply write your way to well-being, because by putting the pen on the page, you are connecting with yourself, and having that connection with yourself as a highly sensitive person is really important. We're deep thinkers. We take our time to process stuff. We like to go inside and reflect. Our inner worlds are very rich. But unfortunately, because we're highly sensitive, we can get blown about by every breeze and dragged into drama and pulled into other people's stuff, which takes us away from ourselves. But what happens is when we're far away from ourselves, we become anxious. Anxiety is just you being disconnected from you. It's more of a spiritual problem, I think, in this day and age. But the links for Right to Heal and all my courses and readings and cards, I'll pop them in the description box below. So let's get on with today's reading, shall we? That's the preamble. Thank you for listening. What have we got here for these solar eclipse energies in Aries? So Aries, as I've said, is ruled by Mars, and I think it will impact you differently depending on where it is in your chart. In my natal chart, Aries is my rising sign, and it's in my first house, which is the house of self. And what does it say here? Mural, be your own first priority. So it's quite nice that this lady's doing something creative. She's painting. Maybe she's painting that castle, painting that new life into existence. And there she is with her cat, which is me cat sitting last week. Look at the state of my hands, covered in cat scratches. Well, they're always a bit crusty anyway, aren't they? I did put some hand cream on before I came on camera. But Crumble had a field day with me. He likes to play, but he's got very sharp claws. But maybe that was me last week, because I have actually been creating a new journal for you all, which I hope to reveal over the coming weeks and for it to roll out in May. It's called This is my life. So be your own first priority, putting yourself first. How do you feel when you think about putting yourself first? I think lots of us as empaths, as highly sensitive people, feel guilty, or we've been told that that's selfish, or we've been conditioned to be good girls and put everyone else first. But it's oxygen mask on the airplane, isn't it? Like, you can't give from an empty cup, and what you want to do is fill your cup up enough so that it's overflowing, so you give from the overflow. So creativity definitely fills up my cup. Does it fill up your cup? Let me know in the comments below what fills up your cup. Maybe a walk in nature, maybe an early night, perhaps reading a good book, a good film. What books are you reading at the moment? What films are you watching? But I definitely feel like this eclipse is saying you must put yourself first. Something's got to give. And very often we will end up hitting our rock bottom. Why do we wait till it gets really bad before we take action? Because we need to be in enough pain. You know, a lot of us can tune out and be in denial about what's really going on. I'm drawn to those paint pots. I don't know why. All the different colours. I suppose that just is, well, actually, that's just reminding me of the chakra system, of the energy system in your body. Maybe it's about linking into the body, being with your body. We had that before, didn't we? I think in April's energy reading. So what else have we got going on here? Next one. Oh, we've got the Make-A-Wish card. This is a magical moment. Make a wish and enjoy its manifestation. So what are you manifesting? What do you want to create? What are you trying to create? What are you trying to bring into reality? Oh, claim your wish in the comments below. Now, when we used to blow out wishes on our birthday cake when we were kids, we were told, don't tell anyone what your wish is, or it won't come true. But actually, now we're told, speak your wish into existence. Tell the universe what you want. If you don't tell the universe what you want, then how does it know what to bring you? And it will keep bringing you things, and it's up to you to say no to them. So that's why if you struggle to say no and you say yes to everything, you get a load of things and people and situations in your life that you don't really want. Yeah, claim your wish. That's a nice card to have, isn't it? Let's have a look and see what else we've got here. I've got some tarot cards now from the Cozy Witch Tarot. The Hierophant. Tradition is important, but it doesn't have to be everything. Now, that's interesting because I was talking to my friend about manifesting yesterday when we went for a walk down by the river. And we were talking about how we've been taught to save up for things and then buy them. And we've been taught to, you know, treat everything carefully and respectfully and not waste stuff. But the universe says that actually if you want something, you have to act as if you already have it. So I was saying to my friend, I want my hair cut. And I said to her, so what do I do? Book the haircut and then the client will drop into my bank, the money will drop into my bank account. I'll get a client and I can go and get my hair cut. And we were laughing and I was saying, oh, that sounds really scary because what if I book my haircut and then I turn up and I can't afford to pay to have my hair done? And so we were talking about that and how it requires letting go and having trust in the universe, that the universe has got your back and will provide. And acting as if requires you to be in the present moment, doesn't it? You've got to be fully aware of what it is you want, and then you step into that energy and you say, this is who I am now. So someone who thinks they're worthy doesn't stress or come from a place of lack or think that things won't happen for them. I'm just drawn to these two children asking for what they want. Look, they're asking her, can I have some candles? Please sir, can I have some candles or some crystals? So you've got, with this Make-A-Wish, you've got to ask for what you want. You've got to say it out loud or write it in your journal, what you're manifesting, what you want. You know, even if it is a haircut or a manicure, whatever it is you need to take care of yourself. Oh, the Five of Cups. This is the card of grief for me. And spilled tea isn't the end of the world. So if something's not going the way you hoped it would, it's not for you, I think. And I think don't focus on what's not worked out. Look, we've got two cups over here that were full. Focus on what's going right. She's not looking at those. She's looking at these ones. And also I'm thinking about what I said about pouring from an empty cup. Like, I feel like on this half of the picture, if you take those two away, she's completely burnt out, like her cups are empty. Actually, she hasn't got any boundaries to like hold the liquid in. It's spilled out. So like maybe your energy's fragmented, and you're putting your energy into loads of relationships and people and things that aren't giving you anything back. And so it's saying turn around and fill your cup up again. What is it that you need to do to fill your cup up? Interesting. Mine would be creativity and dancing. I had a little dance this morning. I tried to outdance my stress with the builders, so I jacked up the music really loudly. But you really can't get away from vibrating drills. It just goes right through the building. Grasshopper spirit, take a leap of faith. Yes, that's what we were just saying about the haircut story. If you want something, you've got to act as if you've already got it, and trust that it's coming. And that requires an amount of trust and faith in the universe. So how good are you at trusting? And I think that's linked into your self-worth. I think that's linked into knowing that you're worthy of these things that are going to come. Someone who knows that they're worthy doesn't doubt that what's meant for them is coming. What's meant for you is always coming. You're going to get it. What's meant for you in this lifetime will not pass you by. It's interesting that the grasshopper's got a crown on his head, isn't it? Some kind of, well, it's sort of like a royal energy. And if we go back to what I said at the beginning about your sense of self and putting yourself first, for me, the crown symbolises, you know, that you matter, that you're of importance, that you matter. Treat yourself like a queen or a princess, not a grasshopper. Right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, the groundhog spirit, time to let go. Yes. So in order to manifest these new things, these new wishes that you want to come in on the eclipse. Now, eclipses just clear out all the old crap that you don't need. So you can consciously make a decision to let go of something, or otherwise the universe will come in like a tower moment, like the tower card in the tarot, and just pull the rug from underneath you. So it's better that you have the choice to do it. I noticed that the groundhog is holding a heart up to his mouth, like kissing the heart, it almost looks like. And I wonder what it is that you're holding on to that you don't want to let go of. I think it's a person, or maybe it's your feelings. Are you holding on to feelings? Have you got feelings inside of you that you need to talk about? Things that you're ignoring or in denial about? Things that need to come out? Because, you know, if we don't express our feelings, and journaling is one way to express them, and creativity is another way, is another channel for self-expression, then they manifest in our physical body and they start to hurt us. So we have to take care of our bodies and listen to our bodies. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh, yeah. Release your guilt. 21. 2 and 1 is 2 and 1 together makes the energy of 3, which is the energy of expansion and creativity, funnily enough. And it's kind of saying that what I was saying at the beginning about if you put yourself first, do you feel guilty? I think the emotion of guilt is a message to us that we're responsible for something. Now, if you're an eldest child or a parentified child, it's very likely that you are overly responsible and you take responsibility for stuff which isn't yours. And you feel guilty for things that you need not feel guilty about because they are nothing to do with you. So those of us who find it hard to put ourselves first, that comes from childhood more often than not. That we had a caregiver that we had to take care of, and it wasn't safe for us to be ourselves. We had to put them first. We had to prioritise them. So putting yourself first is going to feel a bit scary and a little bit uncomfortable. But you sit with these feelings. If you sat with guilt, and you can journal on this, what would guilt tell you? is it guilt or is it shame? If it's shame, it's telling you you're a bad person. If it's shaming you, or it's telling you you should do something, or you must do something, you ought to do something. If it's guilt, it's telling you you're responsible for something. So have a think about what emotion actually does come up for you when you put yourself first. Oh, hello. Got two here. We got release. Yeah, look, that's the groundhog. Is that what it was? Yeah, the groundhog spirit. Time to let go. You've got to let go of it. And we've got meditation. This is actually making me think about what I said at the beginning about feeling stuck in the past. Like there's a whole world out there and she's in this stuck in this dark room. Reminds me of me being in my flat. Like feeling like a prisoner in my flat, like I can't go anywhere. I can't sell it. I can't rent it out. I can't move. Like I'm stuck here while this build is going on. And I mean, meditation is just about getting quiet and going within and listening to yourself, isn't it? Maybe you need to do that in order to release whatever, or in order to work out what it is you need to release. But even if you don't know what you need to release, it's about the intention. So I would write in your journal to the universe or to spirit or whoever you talk to, please help me let go of or release whatever it is I need to let go of. I'm ready to let go of it now. And I'm creating space for my wish or my whatever I'm manifesting to come in. I did actually pull up, let me just go into my iPad a minute, because I did pull up a card reading for this solar eclipse. Let me just see if it's still here. Yes. So the questions that were asked when I pulled these cards were, what is this eclipse awakening within me? Well, it's awakening, prioritising yourself. What is this eclipse helping me to leave behind? Well, relationships. I also think maybe it's asking you, relationships that make you feel guilty, that make you feel overly responsible, if you feel responsible for other people. And letting go of old ways of doing things, old traditions, doing things differently, breaking the rules. I feel like this is happening on a global level now. Like old systems are breaking down, aren't they? I think we started to see that in COVID, where the government came undone a little bit, or a lot, in this country. Don't know where you're listening to this reading, but in our country, government came undone a lot. A lot was revealed during that time. But, you know, our infrastructures, our health system is really struggling at the moment. I watched a TikTok the other day that was talking about the horrendous amounts of people that are being diagnosed with autism and ADHD, and that the NHS are oversubscribed and they can't deal with all the diagnoses. But I think what's happening, and I'm not saying everyone that's got ADHD and autism has got trauma, but there is a huge overlap between the two. You can have both. But I always believed that when I was working with the children were brought to me, and there were more and more of them, and they came in bigger and bigger numbers. There were like waves of children being born who were standing up and saying, this school system's broken, it doesn't work anymore, it doesn't meet my needs, I don't feel safe enough to learn. And maybe that's what all these diagnoses are. Because really, I have to say that from the literature I've read and my ethos on it, again, if you have a diagnosis, you've been statemented, that's none of my business. I'm just talking about my experience. If you grew a plant in a greenhouse, and it didn't have enough light and it didn't have enough water, so it didn't have any water, and it was in that dark room, there you go, in that dark room, and it was on a screen all the time, and it had 50 browsers open in its head, and it wasn't having any social interaction, is that plant going to grow and flourish? No. And then we talk about things like having attention deficit disorders, and we talk about having social anxiety, and we talk about, isolation, I think, is part of having CPTSD, which is my diagnosis or my statement, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, which comes from developmental trauma from childhood. But I am not my label, and I'm not anti-labels, but I don't like labels because I think human beings are very complicated. They are nuanced. There are layers to us. We're all very different. You cannot go into a check boxes and go, this person's behaving like this, this, this and this, which that means that they're X, Y and Z. What's going on in their greenhouse? What's happened in their family of origin? What's happened in the generations that have gone before them? Put it into context. Those tests do not look at us as human beings. They do not put us into context. And I just feel that if you have a label, whilst it can be validating and help you understand yourself, and it can also help you with your treatment plan and getting the support you need, I also think it can unearth a belief or create a core belief of there must be something wrong with me. I'm not like everyone else. You're not like everyone else because you're not meant to be like everyone else. I'm going on a bit of a rant here. I wasn't expecting to do that. I'm just letting it all come through. It's just meant to be. But you're not meant to be like anyone else. You're you and I'm me, and we're meant to be different, and that's how it is. Maybe you need to let go of trying to fit in or trying to be like everyone else. Just be yourself. And don't lock yourself away in a dark room. What's in your greenhouse? On my podcast, The Wildheart Diaries, I call it the toxic puddle. I say, what is in your toxic puddle? What energy is in your environment that you are sitting in that is hurting you, that is not supporting you, that feels bad? Does it feel good? No, it doesn't. Get rid of it. Wow, that's interesting, isn't it? Little rant today. Getting up on my soapbox. I mean, we're all spirits in meat suits, really. Oh, look, there you go. There's Spirit. Metatron, the Rainbow Bridge, always open. This is also the card of grief, but what I'm getting from this card, because I'm seeing the rainbow, I'm thinking about the LBGT communities. If I said that right, sorry if I haven't said that right and butchered that acronym. So many acronyms, can't get them right all the time. But that's making me think of these small communities where people are feeling like outsiders, but then look at the big angel wings that are coming in and saying, you know, Spirit are watching over you. And it's a bit like what I was saying about the children before. Well, I once went to have a reading when I was in Salem, in Boston, just outside Boston. Salem is where all the witch hunts took place. And the bloke said to me, I can see all these children with little hands reaching out to you, and they all want your help. And you're an indigo child, and you're being sent rainbow and crystal children to prepare them for the, you know, the spiritual warfare, for the light and dark, the battle against light and dark, you know, for what they'll have to endure in this lifetime. I mean, on planet Earth, we call that statementing, and we call that, you know, diagnoses, we call that mental health issues. But it was Doreen Virtue that coined the indigo, rainbow and crystal children. And, you know, people who feel different, or who feel marginalised, or who feel unseen, or who feel misunderstood, often a lot of those have a lot of courage to speak up and talk about it. And then that makes it okay for everyone else, doesn't it? And that's incredibly validating. I think it's more validating to find your tribe, to find your people, to find your soul family, than it is to get a label from the doctor. I'm Elisa. What's your name? Write your name in the comments below. That's who you are. That's who you are. You're a spirit in a meat suit, and you're very powerful, and you're an incredible human being. Oh, look at the light, see? You are an incredible, and you are a light worker. You carry the light, so you might be a rainbow, crystal or indigo child. And you're here to shine your light. And as we go back to this solar eclipse, so solar is the sun. The sun is also the inner child card in the tarot deck. And so this is about the essence of who you are. And no matter how stormy it gets and how much those waves smash against the rocks, you just stand there still shining. Like the lighthouse, really, isn't it? You are the lighthouse. I tried to do that today till about 4 o'clock. And then the builders just did some naughty things, and my light didn't go out, but I wasn't aware of my own light. So sometimes we're not aware of our own power. Beautiful colours on that card, though. I'm drawn to, again, those indigo colours. If you look up indigo, crystal and rainbow children, you might find it of interest. I mean, that's really what I call a wild heart. I call this channel is Living Wild-Heartedly, and I call the people that I work with wild hearts. You are big-hearted and compassionate and empathetic, but you are also a warrior and a catalyst for change. You want a different world. You want a better world. You want a more loving world. The Page of Cups. It's all, look at her cup's full now. Look, her cup's full. Maybe your cup is made full by being by the seaside, by being close to the water. Let yourself be continually surprised by this thing called life. Yes, now if we go back to the manifestation of making a wish, you can't be specific about how the wish comes in. Like if I say to the universe, please can you give me £10,000 so that I can get out of this flat and go and live somewhere else for another year while all this nonsense is going on. I can't then say, and I want that to be, I want to win the lottery, or I want X amount of clients, or I want to get a job. I have to let go of the how and leave that up to the universe to decide. It's not for me to decide. How good are you at expecting the best, or do you catastrophise and expect the worst? Those of us that struggle with anxiety, our brain often goes into catastrophising. We normally fast forward and think the worst thing ever is going to happen, because maybe earlier on in our life that was what happened, but it doesn't have to be like that now. It can be different. Page of Cups is also an offer. Something coming towards you. I don't know if you're looking for a new job or expecting to hear from someone. It's not money though, because money would be pentacles. Oh, the electric eel spirit. Bring your ideas to life. There we go. Back to that creativity. Back to that lady painting her life into existence. Get creative. Creativity means thinking outside the box, doesn't it? It means, back to the Hierophant, it means breaking those old traditions. It means stepping outside of your comfort zone. In this new journal that I've made, you guys, for May, one of the things that you do every day is, have I experimented or tried something new today? That's one of the best ways to change your life. Because if you keep doing what you've always got, if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll always get what you've got. And insanity is the definition of doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. You've got to do it differently. So every day I'm challenging myself to try something new. And you'll see me on social media, actually. I've gone back to Instagram, and you might see me here on YouTube and a little bit on TikTok. Maybe I might venture over into TikTok land. I'm not sure. We'll see. But I'm challenging myself to step outside of my comfort zone and go and find more wild hearts to talk to. Yeah. What's that song? Ooh, girl, do. Na, 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 electric eel. I'm going to have to Google that. Baby girl, na, na, turn me on with your electric feel. Oh, electric feel, I think it's called. I don't know what it's about. Let's look at the lyrics together. I've just got my iPad here. All along the Western Front, people line up to receive. She's got the power in her hand to shock you like you won't believe. Saw her in the Amazon with the voltage running through her skin. Standing there with nothing on, she's going to teach me how to swim. It said, ooh, girl, shock me like an electric eel. Baby girl, turn me on with your electric feel. All along the eastern shore, put your circuits in the sea. This is what the world is for, making electricity. You can feel it in your mind. Yes, the power of your mind. Like, when you're manifesting, you've got to focus on the good stuff. You've got to focus on what's coming. You can't catastrophise and think the worst. Oh, just knocked my camera in the excitement. You can feel it in your mind, or you can do it all the time. Plug it in, change the world. You're my electric girl. Oh, I really like that song. It's Electric Feel by, who's it by? Don't know. MGMT. I like that. People line up all along the Western Shore. People line up to receive. Look, there she is. All along the Western Front, sorry. People line up to receive all along the Eastern Shore. Put your circuits in the sea. Maybe that's about connecting back to nature. Mind you, having a shower's quite nice, isn't it, when you're feeling... But maybe these energies that are coming in for this solar eclipse are electrifying. They feel like big energies. Let me know if anyone else had trouble sleeping last night. Five of Wands, a good coven lets every witch have her say. So when we talk about finding our soul family and finding the people that we're connected to, I feel like the Five of Wands, it's about coming together collectively and allowing everyone to shine their own light, as you can see in that picture. So what is it Brené Brown says? Don't surround yourself with candle blower outers. Like, make sure that the people that you hang out with are actually on your team and they're not two-faced and saying one thing to your face and another thing behind your back. And that the people that you are with allow you to shine your light. So if we go back to this beacon, shine on. There's enough space in the world for everyone to shine your light. You don't need to compete with anyone, because actually everyone's light is different and everyone's got something to bring to the party, right? We're all very different people. What is your light? What makes you unique? What is your unique quality that lights up the world? Do you know? Maybe you could journal on that as well. I think it's going to be revealed to you maybe during this solar eclipse, because the sun is about shining a light on something, so it's about lighting up what it is that you need to see. Oh, look at all the candles in that one, the Six of Wands. You're kind of a big deal, so start acting like it. Yes, back to the self-worth again. If you're going to put yourself first, you need to realise that you're important, that you matter. Where's our little matey with the crown on his head? Our little Regal grasshopper. You matter. What is it, if you want to journal on this, that stops you from thinking that you're a big deal? What does that shaming inner critic say in your head? Oh, you're a show-off, or who do you think you are? Oh, you're so full of yourself. All those voices, where do they come from? Whose voice is that? That's not your voice. You are allowed to take up space in the world. You are allowed to fully be you, fully express yourself. Anyone that's uncomfortable or is threatened by that, that's on them. That's on them. That's not for you to worry about, is it? Right. Now, I pulled these archetype cards because on the tarot card spread, it said, who am I becoming? So this is who we are becoming in this solar eclipse. Oh, let me just have a slurp of my tea before we get into it. We've still got quite a few cards to go. Just telling a lovely story today. Here we go. Oh, look, there's the royalty. Look, that's what our grasshopper was trying to tell us. Your queen energy radiates. See, notice the word radiates. Radiates. Solar. Radiates. The regal feminine. Regal. That was the word. Uses her benevolent authority to protect others. So stepping into your queen energy. Now the shadow attributes there are becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. So if you want to do some shadow journal prompts, you might want to look at where you are trying to control things, where you are being entitled or demanding. I'm not sure that anyone listening to this, I don't think that's about you. I don't think there's any arrogance here. If anything, I think you might, not to be arrogant, but you might need to like yourself and be your own best friend a bit more, is what I'm picking up on. But, you know, often when we're afraid of things, we do try and control our environments. The way that we try and control other people is by trying to fix and change them. And that only kills relationships. But, you know, when you're trying to fix and change someone else, that's just a distraction from you doing the healing work on yourself. When you're in your queen energy, you trust that everyone's an adult and they can all take responsibility for their own lives. And benevolent authority, so this is about being in your power and being kind. Does make me think of our Queen. I know she's not with us anymore. We lost her. But she did lead a good life, a long life. And she played her role well, I feel. Oh, look. Hello. Just saw the castle. You are your own first priority. Look at that. She's painting her queendom. Her queendom. Drop me a crown in the comments below if that resonates with you. Oh, such fun, this reading. Who am I becoming? The hedonist. Inspires creative energy. Oh my God, you couldn't make it up, could you? You literally could not make this up. Creative energy. To embrace the good things in life. Celebrates the beauty in yourself. We're back to the body again. Back to liking ourselves. Back to, beauty comes from within, doesn't it? It comes from who you are. If you're shining a light and you're just stepping into your authentic energy, if you're just being yourself, then that's beautiful. If you're putting on masks and pretending to be someone you're not, or you're trying to be like everyone else, then that's not beautiful. And then you wonder why you don't feel good. Shadow attributes for the hedonist. Pursues pleasure to the detriment of health. Indulges at the expense of others. Well, I would say, because she's ramming those grapes down her gullet, that actually I do indulge in a little bit too much food, I think, if I was going to do my shadow journaling right now. But not at the expense of others, actually at the expense of myself. My therapist told me that binge eating is self-harm, because you're stuffing yourself full of food till you feel sick, and what you're doing is stuffing your feelings inside and not letting them out. So that's I'm obviously letting go. I'm saying that for me, I'm letting go of that. So where are you overindulging in things that may feel good in the moment, but actually they're not good for you, and maybe you're actually harming yourself? Oh, we got this one is a shadow, the servant. Yes, this is reminding me of the Cinderella complex, which I was investigating something called Cinderella syndrome recently. Really, I just feel like I was watching Cinderella with Camila Cabello, is it, on Netflix at the weekend, and Cinderella is the servant, is the slave, is the codependent in the relationship, is the one that overfunctions, overgives, caretakes everyone else to the detriment of herself. So if we go back to our cups again and putting ourselves first, we're letting go of being a servant. Look at the blooming massive cup she's got in her hand. The overgiving. That cup's for you, my lovely. Delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. No, this was in the reverse. I feel like you're letting go of being Cinderella. You don't have to sit in the basement with all the cobwebs and the rats and the mice. You especially don't need to sit there waiting for your Prince Charming to come along, because at this point in the game you've got to save yourself, I'm afraid. There is no Prince Charming. Oh, and another upside down one. So another shadow one. Knight. Allegiance to destructive rulers or principles, romantic delusions. Where are you not telling the truth to yourself? Just said, didn't I, about the Cinderella impact, or the syndrome, and waiting for your knight in shining armour to come along, and it was up the wrong way. And so I feel like there is no knight. Perhaps you are waiting for someone to save you. Perhaps you do want to be rescued. That's actually very common if you've got childhood trauma. But no one came when you were a kid, and you're still in that inner child energy. And it's sort of time to put your big girl pants on and go, only me can save me now. And there's a lot of grief. Oh, there we go, back to the grief. Where's our Metatron rainbow? I've got all these cards here in a pile. Finding it hard to... There's all that grief there. Around the fact that, you know, your innocence is gone, your childhood is over, and it's up to you now. And you may also feel a little bit angry about that, or a lot angry, or quite rageful. because that just isn't fair, is it? For the inner child. Nine of Pentacles. Pause and savour the results of your success. This is about recognising how far you've come, and also, again, this is about recognising your worth. This is also about, I think, taking time. So if you're putting yourself first, that also makes me think like rest is best. Again, if we're breaking down old habits and traditions, traditionally we've been taught that you work, practice makes perfect, practice actually makes progress, but we've got to keep trying harder and harder and hustling to, like, self-development can become a bit addictive, can't it? It can become a bit of, you know, almost like you're trying to perfect yourself. But what this is saying is, actually, you've come quite far and you can have a little rest. And what does that bring up for you when you're sitting down and resting? What do those voices in your head say? You deserve a rest. Know that you don't have to keep hustling and trying harder and harder all the time. Two of Wands, your decisions decide your future here and nothing else. So it's on you. That knight in shining armour isn't coming. It's on you to decide what you want to wish for. It's almost a bit like the Make-A-Wish card. And it's up to you. You can have what you like. You have choices now. You can choose. You can absolutely choose. Page of Wands. Just because you're passionate about it doesn't mean it will be effortless. Again, I'm drawn to the light, the candle. I feel like this is talking about the healing process here. There's a lot of roses in that card, which is making me think about self-love. But, you know, healing is not all rainbows and unicorns, I'm afraid. And anyone that tells you it is fibbing. Because healing is painful, and it can take you to places that can be scary, and places that are unknown, and places you've never been to before. And sometimes you can feel like your light's gone out. I mean, it doesn't really go out, but, and if it does, then that's when you must find someone else to hold the light for you. I don't think our light ever goes out, because that's the spirit of who we are. But I think what happens is we lose our connection with our light. We lose our connection with our light. We become overwhelmed by, you know, what's going on out there, instead of staying with ourselves. So, how can I best care for myself during this time of change? So I've got some self-care cards here from the Kris Carr Crazy Sexy Love Notes deck. Yes, be present. Look at the little doggy. Isn't he rather gorgeous? Let's see what the little doggy wants to say. Your full presence is the greatest gift you can give to yourself and others. Life is happening right now in this moment. Today is the only day that matters. Anchor yourself in the now and give it your all. Notice the details and drink in the sweetness. Be present. That's reminding me of that meditation card that we had earlier. I mean, you can take that one of two ways. You can say, don't sit in a dark room and isolate yourself. Get out there in nature. But I think meditation is more about closing your eyes and going within and noticing what's going on in your inner world. Whereas I think mindfulness is more about orientating yourself to what's going on around you. You know, like when I'm practicing mindfulness, I'm saying one thing I can see, one thing I can hear, one thing I can touch, one thing I can smell. Just being very present in my body. What goes with the Be Present card? There's that light again. Shine your inner candle light bright enough for the others to follow. I mean, literally, how many times has Spirit repeated the same message? I feel like it is your time to shine on, to share your gifts with the world, to speak your truth, to be who you really are, to get off your phone. It's just looking at her on the phone. I don't know if social media is good for us. I think it's good if you can put boundaries around it and edit it. But I also think if you're not feeling great about yourself when you go online, you can end up feeling worse. Shine your inner candlelight bright enough for others to follow. Yeah, I mean, that's what the whole reading's been about, really. ask for help. That's it. You've got to ask Spirit for help. So something you need help with. I think we struggle with that a bit. Are you constantly giving to others, yet rarely receiving what you need? What were we just saying? Then it's time to ask for help. You are not Superwoman, so there's no need to do it all yourself. You have an army of angels on speed dial. Give them a call. Communicate your needs and learn to receive, dear one. When we're open to the help that's around us, the universe provides assistance. Make sure to look for the signs. Once you ask for help, they'll start appearing. Yes. So if there's something you need, so what we were saying before about making wishes, you know, we were told don't say a wish out loud, it won't come true. But actually, when you're communicating with Spirit, when you're communicating with the universe, you're speaking out loud and saying, this is what I want. I mean, if you write it in your journal, it's the same, but I feel like our voice has an energy, and that kind of activates, that kind of activates the manifestation of asking for what you want. But what do you need help with? And is it hard to admit that you need help? I went through something recently where I had to ask for help, and I resisted it for far too long. And then when it came to get the help, which I got the help eventually, I wished I'd asked sooner. And I think what was holding me back from asking for help was my pride. But also I was telling myself an old story that I had failed in some way. And actually I hadn't failed at all. I hadn't failed at all. I was blaming myself and taking responsibility. Back to that guilt again. Where's our guilt one? Oh, it's buried underneath a big old pile of cards here. Here it is. I was taking responsibility for stuff that wasn't mine. So watch that. Watch that you're not being overly responsible and carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. And know that there's we said, didn't we? We said protected by Spirit. Look, there's those angel wings again. So many double messages in these cards. Beautiful, beautiful reading. Really lovely. I've only got a couple more to go. Thanks for staying with me if you're still here. Four of Pentacles. Treat yourself to something shiny every now and again. That's a sign for me to go and book my haircut, isn't it? And a manicure. The Four of Pentacles can be a card of control, I think. It's like if you hold on to things, you're trying to control outcomes. Whereas if you let go, again, it's like that card said about being surprised by the possibilities. You know, the one of her on the beach. Oh, where has it gone? I haven't kept them in any order. Where's the one of her on the beach? It's disappeared. You know the one I mean, where she was standing on the beach holding the cup out, and it was saying, I'm sure it says something about being surprised by Page of Cups. Let yourself be continually surprised by this thing called life. So that these two are sort of opposites. This one's letting go and letting, like the water crashing to the waves on the shore. What goes out must come in again. Whereas she's trying to hold on to it all and control it. And it won't happen. But I also think you do need to treat yourself. That's confirmation for me anyway. Oh, gossip dims your glow. Oh, maybe that's what that card was. Look, there's your gossip on the phone, gossiping, or on social media in that horrible comment section where everyone gets really het up and nasty in some online spaces. Speaking poorly about others tarnishes your energy and your reputation, so avoid bonding over complaints and feeling superior. Human beings weren't designed to be perfect, and this includes you. Instead, raise your vibration by engaging in positive communication. Celebrate what does work and who is awesome. The more you do this, the more radiant you will... Oh, look at this word, radiant. I need to write that down because I feel like that needs to be in the heading of this video, which I haven't made the thumbnail for it yet. But how much have we had about radiance and radiating and regal and all the R's? So don't hang about in spaces where there's drama. You know, I often think if you hear someone slagging someone else off, they're going to be doing it about you behind your back, aren't they? Pretty much, if that's what they do. And people that complain. I mean, we all complain from time to time because things go wrong in our life, or we're in pain, or you know, life is hard. I'm not saying that we can't negatively comment on the things in life that we don't like, but actually, if we keep complaining about the same things and we don't do anything about it, then it's like, the question is, what are we getting from complaining about it? So that card earlier that was talking about overindulging, the hedonistic one, the woman with the grapes, shoving the grapes down her gullet. I often moan about, oh, I've eaten too much today, or I shouldn't have eaten that, and actually I don't do anything about it. And if I ask myself, what do I get out of shoving food down my gullet? I don't get anything anymore. I used to. It used to stop me from expressing my feelings and getting into trouble. But now it doesn't serve me as an adult. And actually it's making me feel lethargic and unhealthy and uncomfortable in my clothes. And remember I was talking before on the April reading about listening? The thing that I've noticed that I do is I don't listen to myself. So when you're complaining to someone, or when you're speaking your words, and that's why journaling's so good, because those words are going down on the page and you have to read them and see them with your own eyes and take them in. Listen to what you're saying to yourself. Listen to yourself. You're so wise. You're so wise if only we listen to ourselves. Last one. 3 of Wands. Oh, this is a manifestation card. How lovely. Put yourself out there and you'll be rewarded one way or another. So this, the 3 of Wands, is a card that your manifestation is coming. So you put it out there, you ask what you want, you ask for help, you don't control, you wait, and it comes in. Isn't that lovely? So this reading is very much about radiating. So if you wanted to put a sun in for the solar eclipse, or you wanted to put in a candle, whatever resonated for you in the reading, let me know with an emoji. It's always good to hear if the messages land with the right people. They usually do, because that's how it works. But I've loved reading for you today. And if you'd like a reading from me, then I will pop a link in the comments below. I'd love to read for you. And I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye for now.